Hello students, as we have discussed in the last class, environmental accounting is a tool for holistic evaluation of systems of people and nature. So this environmental work is in the both environmental as well as human systems, right? So today we are going to discuss about new topic, that is environmental cost. What is this environmental cost? Environmental costs are identified and analyzed according to the traditional accounting and finance principles. So here these environmental costs are analyzed according to the traditional principles of accounting, and which help to calculate the impact business decisions will have on the environment. So this environmental cost which helps to the enterprise to take the decision, or which calculate the impact of business on the environment. Take for example, before deciding to build up a new factory, the organization will need to determine the environmental impacts of building, right, the factory in the preferred location, as well as factoring in impacts for increased distribution and restoration at the end of the factory's useful life, right? So these environmental costs are usually integrated into a broader organizational decision making process and supported as a part of the organization's corporate social responsibility, or we can say that sustainability function. So there has also been a growing interest in the circular economy, so where the full life cycle of the product or service is considered as part of the organizational decision making process. These environmental costs are should be collected and analyzed according to the information on material flows and usage, as well as pollution control for internal executive decision making. So they can be used to represent the environmental impacts, such as what are the environmental impacts, such as carbon emissions, or else other things, including investors and the regulators, as well as the basis to develop the organization environmental policies for an assessment of the impact of new environmental regulations. So here the some environmental costs data may also be used in providing assurance services over the data reported by the organization. So these environmental costs are costs connected with the actual or potential deterioration of natural assets due to economic activities. So these such costs can be viewed from two different perspectives. So that is namely cost caused and cost borne. What is this cost caused? So these cost caused are costs associated with economic units actually or potentially causing environmental deterioration by their own activities. So these are the costs, or these costs associated with economic units. So this actually which cause the environmental deterioration by their own activities. So these are cost caused, these are the cost by this the which, or else we can say that, which cause the environment to in their own activities. And second one, costs borne. What is this cost borne? So that is cost incurred by economic units independently of whether they have actually caused the environmental impacts. So these are the costs which incurred by the economic units independently, whether they have or whether these costs are actually caused the environmental impact. So this is called cost borne. So here the two different perspectives, that is costs caused and costs borne, right? So your discussion of environmental accounting and environmental management accounting, which generates the reference to environmental cost, a term that can take on a variety of meanings. So these environmental costs have traditionally been thought of being end of pipe cost, such as the costs associated with cleaning up sites after production, or wastewater treatment cost. So these environmental management policies which focus on these end of pipe cost and technologies that can generate short-run returns, but such a focus will costly in the long run as will ignore the consumption of resources, right? So consumption of resources within the organization. So this is about environmental cost. Next we will discuss about the types of environmental cost. So there are four types of environmental cost. They are primary environmental cost, environmental discretionary cost, and probable cost, and fourth one image or relation cost. So let us discuss one by one. What are these types of environmental cost? The traditional accounting system, which does not allow the distinct identification or evaluation of the data regarding the environment. So here the data about the management of residual waste, the prevention of pollution or recycling, or compliance with the legal provisions or health and work safety, or these things, right? So therefore the identification and quantification of environmental cost and the benefits are necessary for the calculation of the profitability of the environment related projects. So without this information, the managers can reach a false and expensive conclusion, right? So these are the types of environmental cost. First one, primary environmental cost. What is this primary environmental cost? The first group of cost, this is the first group of cost that are built prior to start the process of production and operation or system design and etc. So these primary environmental costs are the cost which are built prior to start the process of production or prior to start the process of system design. So this considering these costs as overhead cost with the research and development cost. So it is possible that these costs are forgotten when managers and analysts focus on the operation costs of production or system design or providing requirements. So obligatory or legal cost, the costs imposed to the company for the governmental rules related to the environment. So these primary environmental costs are built when the process of production starts, or else when the process of operation or process of system design started. So this primary environmental costs are built. And second one, environmental discretionary cost. What is this? So these are the costs of economic entity not for the compliance with the legal environmental requirements, but these costs are the economic unit incurs them to improve the environment and environmentally credibility among customers. So this environmentally discretionary cost, which are the economic unit or else which incurs them to improve the environment. So these are the costs which incurs on to improve the environment and or else environmental credibility among the customers. So these are called environmental discretionary cost. And third one, probable cost. What is probable cost? So these are identified as probable liabilities or expenses causing probable liabilities. So these are called or these are identified as liabilities or expenses. That's why the name came as probable cost, or else which cause the probable liabilities. Understood? Next one, image or relation cost. So relation costs are or else image costs are incurred to influence on management thinking or customers or employees or society and legislation or legislators, and are mentioned as image relation cost. So the costs such as environmental advertisement cost play an important role in helping companies to inform and convince current and potential customers about the nature of its production, right, or nature of its production process and being eco-friendly, right. So this environmental cost or image relation cost or else image or relation costs are incurred or which built to influence the management thinking, right. So or else the example is advertisement cost. So these are the image cost or relation cost. So this is about the types of environmental cost. Next we will discuss about environmental cost centers. Cost centers are maintained in financial accounting. So each organization unit will be either assigned a default cost center or will inherit a default cost center from the supervising organizational unit. So the default cost center assigned to the organization unit will also be used during the evaluation process to extract employees into the correct budgeting groups. Here, the company expense or company expenditures can be broken and tracked in various ways, and can at times the multi-dimensional, right? So these cost centers can be created and accounted in the following ways. What are the ways the cost centers are created? So first one, based on the location or based on the geography to track expenses incurred at each city of operation, or else the environmental cost or these cost centers are decided on the basis of line of production, or cost centers are based on department or division center, or else these cost centers are individual product or individual brand. So that's why these cost centers are maintained in the financial accounting. So each organization or each company or each unit is assigned some amount of cost, right? So to manufacture the product or manufacture the commodities, right? So this cost center is very important for tracking environmental costs and the benefits that reap out from that specific cost center, right? And also it provides the management with ample reports to take decision and forecast results of an organization. So this is about environmental cost center. The cost center can help the management by the following. So these are the things by which a cost center which helps to the management. First one, tracking of expenditure associated with the specific function or department or center. So this cost center which helps to the management to track the expenditure associated with the specific function or specific department. Take for example sales department or else manufacture department. So the specific which this cost center which can be help to the department or which can be help to the enterprise to track the expenditure on the specific department or else specific center. Understood. And second one, allowing the business to compare performance between department or across products or brands. So this cost center which helps to the business to compare the performance between department. Take for example sales department and manufacture department. So within the company they can compare the performance of two departments by using this cost center. And third one, utilizing resources in smarter ways by having a greater understanding of how resources and funds are being used. So this cost center which helps to the enterprise to utilize the resources efficiently and effectively, right? And allowing more accurate forecast and calculations based on the future changes, and also allowing the business to make decisions about the underperforming areas. So this cost center which helps to the enterprise to take the decision about the underperforming areas. Take for example if the production department they are making less number of productions, then this cost center which helps to the company to make the decision about the production department. Understood. So these are the management, or these are the helps of cost center to the management. And next one, there are certain challenges to maintain a cost center. So these are the challenges. First one, cost may be difficult to allocate accurately to a particular cost center, hence making the data less reliable and less useful. So here one of the challenge, or else we can say that one of the limitation of cost center is difficult to allocate the cost to a particular cost center. That's why the cost centers are very one of the challenge to the management. And second one, may demotivate and add stress to cost center managers. So this can be overcome by educating and training the staff. So here this cost center may give the stress or may add the stress to the managers of cost center, so that they need the extra training, right? So this leads to very cost effective. And third one, adds cost to maintain accounting based on cost centers, as one needs experienced accountants and regular checks balances, and also cost may add up due to increased administration and paperwork involved. So here in the cost center there may be a chance of increased administration work or else increased paperwork, because the cost to maintain the accounting is based on cost centers. They need the experienced accountants, or else they have to check the books of account regularly, or else they have to check the balances of books of account regularly, right? So that's why they need the experienced accountants to maintain the books of account, right? So this may increase the cost of the company. Next concept is environmental accounting for reporting. So this environmental reporting and its later development into substantiality reporting have been the most important aspect of accounting and the environment, as well as responding to environmental issues, especially for the last 2 decades. Right. So first point, environmental reporting has a relatively long history from the 1970s till today. So this environmental accounting, it has a really long history from 1972 till 2020, and it has become widespread since the 1990s, especially in Western Europe. So this environmental costing has spread especially in the Western Europe. So stronger legal requirements related to environmental protection, or else environmental responsibility of companies, as well as the development of a range of voluntary environmental reporting guidelines seem to be important early drivers to environmental reporting development. Today, the reporting of environmental information has become mandatory for certain large undertakings and groups in the European Union, so which is regulated by internationally recognized standard. So nowadays, the environmental accounting is compulsory for large undertakings or some of the groups in the European Union. And also, environmental accounting has become a tool for promoting companies' communication. And also demonstrating their accountability regarding environmental issues, or else providing useful information for decision making. So this environmental accounting, or else this provides the useful information to take the decision in the management, and it refers to the systematic and the holistic statements of environmental burden and environmental efforts in organizational activities, such as environmental policies or environmental objectives or programs and their outcomes. And these organizational structures and the systems for the environmental activities in accordance with the general reporting principles of environmental reporting. And next one, motivating forces for environmental reporting can be both internal as well as external, or else tangible and intangible, and financial or ethical, and the reasons for reporting have been changing over the years. And move on. Through environmental reports, stakeholders are informed about environmental responsibility of the company. So here, environmental reports ensure business transparency and create the reputation of a company as a responsible partner that contributes to environmental protection and the quality of life of the local community. And they are considered to be the responsible business practice that demonstrates companies' commitment to solving the environmental issues. That's why the environmental reports or stakeholders are informed about the environmental responsibility of the company. The next one, environmental reports ensure business transparency and create reputation of a company. So these environmental reports, they are the business transparency, or this ensure the business transparency in the books of account, and also which create the reputation of the company or else goodwill of the company. The next one, environmental reports are the result of functioning an internal system for collecting, analyzing and processing data on the company's environmental aspects. So they are the source of environmental information, not only for external stakeholders but also for internal users. So they are the management tool for assessing environmental performance and deciding on further steps for improving business processes and reducing corporate environmental impacts. So this environmental reporting is based on continuous environmental management and collection of environmental data. Hence, it is a systematic and formal approach to addressing environmental impacts and integrating environmental issues into business processes. So this is about the environmental cost. hereby end of this concept, that is environmental accounting. So I will send the PDF of this concept via Google Classroom app. Go through the material, and if you have any doubts, you can clarify it. Thank you.